Hi everyone. For the month of December, we're going to talk about winter and all the wonderful things that happen in nature during winter. So our first book today is called Over and Under the Snow. What? What's under the snow? We're going to find out. And then we're going to make this really cute little snowman using clay. So I am going to take off my face mask to read. And I hope you like this story. Over and Under the Snow by Kate Messner, and the art is by Christopher Silas Neal. So here we have a child and their dad skiing, and they're way up here on the snow. And then underneath all this snow, we have a little friend sleeping. So let's find out more about this. Over the snow I glide, into woods, frosted, fresh and white. Over the snow, a flash of fur, a red squirrel disappears down a crack. Where did he go? Under the snow, Dad says. Under the snow is a whole secret kingdom where the smallest forest animals stay safe and warm. You're skiing over them right now. So here we see the squirrel and we see a chipmunk. Over the snow I glide, past beech trees rattling leftover leaves and strong, silent pines that stretch to the sky. On a high branch, a great horned owl keeps watch. Under the snow, a tiny shrew dodges columns of ice, and it follows a cool tunnel along the moss out of sight. Look, Dad said, tracks. Tracks always tell a story. Over the snow, a deer has crossed our path. Deep hoof prints punch through the crust and up the hill and under a tree. An oval of melted snow tells the story of a good night's sleep. Under the snow, deer mice doze. They cuddle up against the cold in a nest of feathers and fur. And so why did they say that this oval is melted ice? That's because that's where that deer had slept during the night. They don't have beds like you and I do. Over the snow I climb, digging in my edges so I don't slide back down. And under the snow, voles scratch through slippery tunnels, searching for morsels from the summer feasts. So here they're looking for food that they might have left over from the summer. Things that they had saved during the fall. Over the snow I swoosh, down, down, faster, faster, down, faster, faster, whoops! Under the snow, a snowshoe hare watches from the shelter of a spruce. Almost invisible, she smooths her fur, a coat of winter white. So during the summer, she'll be brown, so she camouflages into the dirt and the trees all around her. And so then in the winter, her fur changes to white, so she's camouflaged in with the snow. Over the snow I glide, past reeds where tadpoles play tag in the springtime. And under the snow, fat bullfrogs snooze. They dream of sun-warmed days back when they had tails as little tadpoles. And they burrow down into the mud and they sleep during the cold. Over the snow I stand and I stare. Little mountains in the marsh. Under the snow, beavers gnaw on aspen bark, settling in for supper. Can they hear my tummy rumbling too? Over the snow, stop! A sound. We stand like statues carved in ice till a bushy-tailed fox steps from the thicket, tips of his ear to the ground, listens, 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 still, and leaps out onto the snow after an invisible dinner. What? An invisible dinner? His paws scratch away to find the mouse that he heard scritch, scritch, scratching along underneath, under the snow. He has really good hearing. Over the snow I glide. A full moon lights my path to supper. And under the snow, a chipmunk wakes for a meal. Bedroom, kitchen, hallway, his house under my feet. Over the snow, I climb one last hill. Bonfire smoke rises, warm hands, hot cocoa, hot dogs sizzling on a pointed sticks. And under the snow, a black bear snores, still full from the October blueberries and trout, which is a type of a fish. And over the snow, the fire crackles and sparks shoot up to the stars. And I lick sticky marshmallows from my lips and I lean back with heavy eyes. Shadows dance in the flames. And under the snow, a queen bumblebee dozes away December, all alone, and she'll rule a new colony in spring. Over the snow, I glide home on tired legs, and clouds whisper down feathery, soft flakes. And under the covers, I snuggle deep and drift into dreams of cuddling deer, mice. Let's find them. Where are the deer mice? Maybe him. Oh, him. And hungry beavers. Let's find the beaver. Ah, there's the beaver with his big flat tail. And tunneling voles. And drowsy bears. And busy squirrels. And the secret kingdom under the snow. And what they're dreaming of are constellations, which is grouping of stars that people say form figures in the night sky. So, is that what you dream of in the winter? Above, over, and under the snow. Welcome back. We just finished reading this delightful story and finding out about what happens to animals during the winter time. It was Over and Under the Snow by Kate Messner. And so today we're going to make a little snowman, something you do over the snow and not under the snow. And so in our bag, in our kit that we have that you can pick up in the lobby at the museum, and if you don't live anywhere around, I'll tell you the things you need that you can pick up at one of your local craft stores. We're going to be using air dry clay, and you need to get kind of like a little plate or maybe a top to a container that your mom doesn't need to use for a few days, because when you roll this snowman out, he's going to have to stay in one place for like 2 to 3 days to make sure he dries. Right now, he's pretty dry, he's hard. And then also in here, you'll see another little bag that you're only going to use a few things out of. For this one, we can leave the green felt or red felt, depending on which one you get in your kit. You can leave this in here because you don't need it yet. You won't need it until he's all the way dry. But you do need to get, in here are some toothpicks, and you need to get the toothpicks. And then the rest of the things you want to close back up, because you're going to use them later this month, and put back in the bag. So here we have the clay. And what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 balls of different sizes for the snowman's body. So we're going to start with the bottom one. All you do is pinch off some and roll it into a ball. Since this is the bottom one, when you put it down on the table, on your plate, sorry, you're going to flatten it just a little bit so that it will stand flat instead of rolling all over the place when it's dry. And then you just take some more clay, slightly smaller than the first one, and then a little bit more. That again is slightly smaller than the other 2. And so this is going to be your snowman's body. So you say, well, is that how it's going to dry, Miss Mary? No, we're now going to put it together. And the thing is, we're going to use our toothpicks. So what we do is we take the one that we've pushed down on a little bit so it's flat on the bottom, and we're going to put it right there, and we're going to take the toothpick and we're going to stick it right in the middle, all the way down, like that. And so then we're going to take the middle size ball and we're going to stick it right on top of the toothpick and push it all the way down until they meet. And then that's exactly what we're going to do for the head also. We're going to stick the toothpick in and we're going to push it all the way down until leaving about that much for the head. And we're going to take the head and we're going to stick it right down onto the other 2. There's your snowman or snow lady. And so what I did is I went outside on a walk and I found 2 little twigs. If you don't have little twigs, if you don't live in an area where you can find little twigs, that's okay. You could use the toothpicks, but if you use the toothpicks, you want to have some grown up, or maybe an older brother or sister, just cut off the points so you don't stick yourself with the toothpicks. And what you would do is you would just push them in and make the arms. Now, you probably will have a little bit of clay left, and so you can go ahead and make some kind of a hat. The kind I made was the kind that I think they usually have for like Frosty, but you could make another kind of a hat. Say you wanted to make a beanie type hat. You would just shape however you wanted it to look. Say you wanted to make one that looked like this, and then you would do the exact same thing as with the different bodies on the body of the snowman. You press the toothpick in, and you go down, and then you just take your hat and make sure that you push it onto the toothpick. And so then there, let's see, does this hat look right to you? Kind of like a little acorn. And so now that's all you do for 2 to 3 days while he dries. And then once he's dry, then you can either use paint or markers. You could use crayons, but they don't show up as well. But you do have to wait until it's dry to do the decorating. I used paint for the hat, but I used markers for the face. And I just drew 2 black eyes, a little orange carrot nose, and I used red dots to make like cranberries for the mouth. And then I used the piece of felt that is in your baggie, and I tied it around for a scarf. You don't have to make yours the same way I made mine. Make it any way you want because it's your snow person. And I hope you come back next week and see us again for another really cool story and craft. See you.